Stranger Things Season 5 has officially changed everything we thought we knew about Vecna. Will Byers and the entire Hawkins mythology. When the Duffer Brothers said the final season would be darker, bigger, and more emotional than anything before, fans were not ready, and now the internet is exploding with theories. But today, I want to take you through the most important mystery of the entire season. A mystery that the show doesn't explain directly, but every frame is screaming the truth. The question is simple. Why did Henry Creel, Vecna, freeze in fear and refuse to chase Max into the cave? Why did the most dangerous psychic villain in the Stranger Things universe suddenly become terrified? And what does that moment reveal about Dimension X? The Mindscape, the first shadow play, and most importantly, Will's new powers? To understand everything, we have to rewind the story not to Hawkins, not to the Upside Down, but to a secret event that happened long before 11 was born. The Broadway play Stranger Things, the first shadow reveals a classified American military experiment in the 1940s called Project Philadelphia. The goal was simple on paper: make an entire battleship invisible to enemy radar. But instead, the USS Eldridge didn't turn invisible. It teleported into Dimension X, a world beyond human understanding. When the ship came back, the entire crew was slaughtered by Demogorgons except for one man, Captain Brenner, the father of Dr. Martin Brenner. The time he spent there corrupted his blood, warped his biology, and left him permanently changed. Before dying, he told his son the truth. And that truth is the seed that created Hawkins' lab, the test subjects, and ultimately, Vecna. Now fast forward a few years. A young Henry Creel, living in Nevada, accidentally finds a stolen piece of the same teleportation technology inside a cave. When the device activates, Henry and a lab worker are pulled into Dimension X. Only Henry returns, alive, but transformed. His blood is altered. His mind is shattered. And whatever energy exists inside that dimension, it follows him. When the Creels move to Hawkins, Dr. Brenner tracks Henry down, captures him, and begins the infamous child experiments, believing Henry is the key to unlocking psychic power. The show never explained how Henry got his powers, but the play makes it crystal clear. Exposure to Dimension X rewrites the human body itself. This is the reason Henry is so dangerous, asterisk. This is the reason 11 exists, asterisk, and this is the reason Will gains powers later. But here's where the story becomes terrifying. Henry completely forgets his childhood trip to Dimension X, just like how 11's mind blocked out the lab massacre to protect her. Henry's brain hides the memories of that cave. Memories so traumatic that even Vecna, a creature of pure dominance, freezes the moment he sees it again in Season 5. That scene where Max runs into the canyon and Vecna suddenly stops chasing her. That is not hesitation. That is trauma. That is the mind of a monster remembering the moment he was not a god, not a predator, but a terrified little boy trapped in a world he could not control. Asterisk. And this leads us to one of the most important concepts in Stranger Things lore, the Mindscape. Max reveals that the canyon she and Holly are trapped in exists inside Henry's memory, a psychic landscape built from the deepest layers of his mind. At the surface of this mindscape is the friendly Creel house, bright and welcoming. Deeper is the playground, then the forest, and at the core, the stone cave, the darkest memory Henry possesses. Asterisk. When Vecna sees Max approaching that memory, the layers of his mind begin collapsing. His control weakens. His power breaks. Because Max isn't just running physically, she's running straight into the one event Henry never overcame. The moment Dimension X rewrote his humanity. This is why he freezes. This is why he doesn't follow her. This is why the cave is the key to defeating him. Let's talk about the other major twist. Will Byers finally unlocking powers. Many fans asked, did Will get psychic abilities overnight? Did the Duffers just add it for fan service? Absolutely not. Will gaining powers is the most logical event in the entire series. When he was taken into the Upside Down in Season 1, a vine latched onto his body. That vine wasn't random, it was the same type of organic conduit infused with Dimension X energy. The same energy that changed Henry, the same energy in Henry's blood. And the same energy the lab used to create the test subjects, including 11. Asterisk. This means Will was never ordinary. He was infected the same way Henry was. But Will's trauma, fear, and belief that he was a victim blocked him from accessing that power. It takes Mike reminding him of his strength. It takes Robin giving him the confidence to accept who he really is. And when Will finally stops running from himself, emotionally and spiritually, something inside him unlocks. His acceptance of his feelings, especially his love for Mike, becomes the emotional trigger needed to access the power that had been dormant in him for years. In that moment, Will doesn't just fight the Demogorgons. He kills them like Vecna, using pure psychic energy. It is a perfect mirror. Henry unlocked his powers through trauma and repression. Will unlocks his through acceptance and love. Asterisk. And this is what sets the stage for the finale. Asterisk because, for the first time in the story, 11 is no longer the only one with power. But the biggest revelation is still coming. The truth about the Mind Flayer. The show implies Henry created it. The play says the opposite. The Mind Flayer is the ancient ruler of Dimension X, and Henry is nothing but its chosen vessel. This completely reframes the story. Vecna isn't the final villain, he's a slave, a weapon, a corrupted child who believed he was in control when he never was. And that cave, the one memory he cannot face, might be the place where the Mind Flayer first touched him. Asterisk, when Max enters that memory, she threatens to expose the truth Henry buried. She threatens to reveal the moment the Mind Flayer chose him. That is why he panics. That is why he stops chasing her. Because if Vecna remembers the truth, he loses power. And Max almost forces him to remember. Asterisk, asterisk, Season 5 is not just a battle of powers. It is a battle of memories. Trauma versus acceptance. Asterisk, fear versus identity. Henry versus the child he used to be. Will versus the monster inside him. Asterisk 11 versus the truth. Brenner hid. Asterisk, and when Volume 2 arrives, everything will revolve around the cave, the dimension behind it, and the memory Vecna fears most. And that's the truth behind the mystery that Stranger Things has been building for 8 years. Henry's fear, Will's awakening, the Mind Flayer's origins, and the secret of Dimension X. Everything is finally connecting. But trust me, the real answers are still coming. Asterisk, if you enjoyed this breakdown and you want more deep explanations just like this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a new video. Season 5 is about to change everything. And I'll be here breaking down every twist, every theory, and every hidden detail that the show doesn't tell you. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.